What's going on? We're here with a new episode of the New Hood Podcast. We're here with the guys. We got my boy Venom, aka Josh Nixon.
What's that there?
We got Mr. Do Everything from real estate to driving trucks to everything else. My boy Shawn. What's good?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, good fellas?
I don't know. This season 2 of the podcast, right?
Yeah, brother. I need you to introduce yourself first. Hold on. Talk to him. Big Money Grill. I got you. Taylor, Big Money Grill. Hey, mister, if you need anything, he can get it for the low.
That ain't
Brax.
it.
He might text you a little bit.
I mean, that's on the back end.
Man, anyway, well, y'all got anything y'all want to plug before we get started?
Yes. Come check out the gaming page, brother. Link in the description. We usually live now, trying to be a little bit more consistent this year, Monday through Friday. Probably like a little 9 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. Don't come for the wins. We not there for that. It's the vibes. So don't come in my chat saying, "Damn, y'all ain't got to win." No, we have it. Okay, but the vibes are immaculate.
Yeah, that's a fact. We pull off some dubs here and there, but
here and there. But the conversation, wow. Hey man, wow. Hey, shout out Lil DJ. That's also I want to shout out my guy, Lil DJ. He doing his thing in California. Hey, top % of everything.
Yeah, and getting on my nerves right now. But
don't do that.
But yeah, man, let's get into that first topic of the day. Did you want to watch that video? And we can that can be our first one.
Yes, let's go ahead and get it.
Right, let's do that.
Let's put it up right now. Boom. I'm gonna hit the refresh real quick, so it'll start. Let me make sure y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear it?
No, it looks like the sound off though.
Yeah, I'm about to say, hold on, whoa.
No, like the sound off on the video.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It looks. Let's see. Maybe move to the second topic while I work it.
Okay. Yeah. We can jump to another topic for right now. I guess we can a lighthearted one. Now that you done got a little bit older,
Okay.
you know, we ain't old or nothing like that. So we still fairly young. But looking back on it, you know, because all of us are well past the age of 21.
Mm-hmm.
Can you if you look back on it, you look at that version of you, do you think if you got into a tussle with the 21-year-old version of you think you would be able to handle him?
I'll go first. Pack that little nigga up, okay? Not even gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. Back then I was like, 140? What? Hey, what? Brother, hey. It's like my dad say, well, hey, you can do all that running around. But once I put my hands on you, once I catch you, it's curtains. It's curtains for young men. We was talking about basketball. If you said like if I played him, oh yeah, he got that. But tussle, hey, you gonna go home crying to mom dukes, dog?
Yeah. What about you, Shawn?
Hey, that little he probably moved a little bit too much for me, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, these old joints and stuff don't move like they used to. Been in too many surgeries since then and everything. I had to wrap it up. Hey, but I still keep that 9 and that 4.5, so he catch one of them. Hey, he'll pack it up one way or another.
Hey, he ain't gonna make it.
Nobody.
Yeah, you ain't going home with an L regardless.
I promise you.
Yeah, one way or another.
Yeah, man. I'll look at the 21-year-old version of me, and I don't know. It'll be a tough fight because he was just too. What?
I know it's your time. I'm sorry. He getting you out of there. I'm sorry, and I'm saying not even joking, brother.
I don't know.
That young man was angry. He was especially because now you just well educated. I feel like you would say something slick to try to educate him, or you can finish your sentence. You on the ground. I'm like, DJ, come on, get up, man. Why he do like that?
Nah. I think my grown man strength will be too much for him.
Hey, that grown man strength is real.
Yeah, because back then, 21-year-old me, I was probably about 150-ish. about 155. And like now I'm about 180, 185. So that 30 pounds is crazy. But the 20-year-old me, 21-year-old me was quick. He was definitely quick. So like yeah, if I get my hands on him, it's gonna be a problem. But if he stand on that outside and just get the swinging on me, punching on me, it might get a little interesting. The lights might start flickering on me, so I don't know. But nah, but 21-year-old me didn't own as many guns either. So like Shawn said, he
Guaranteed.
might if he really threatening my life, he might get packed up for real. But yeah, I don't know though. It'll be an interesting fight though, cause yeah, 21. Now 25-year-old me, nah, I don't got nothing for a 25-year-old me, cause that was when I was for real working out a lot, and you know what I'm saying I had weight on me, so he'd have got me up out of there.
Hey, I love the fact that you able to admit that though, because a lot of people would be like,
Yeah,
"No, but me now, like I wish somebody would." Brother, I can guarantee you, you don't want them
nah,
problems at all.
man, nah, 25-year-old me too much. Cause like I say, I was probably about 170, 165 around that time, and I was like working out regularly.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I ain't
he'd
gonna
have
lie.
got me up out of there. He'd have packed me up.
I'm about to say, even though like I've been lifting weights, I say like I get like you know what I mean until like when I came back from Bagram with us 2016. Yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it. He got it. I ain't go. Now that one, I'm not even gonna talk. I'm shooting him on sight because I can see he was trying to prove something. For the whole time his life he was small, so now he was just looking for something. Okay, I'm gonna give you something. All right,
Yeah,
hey, what you gonna wear at your funeral? Okay, that's
Yeah.
what that is.
y'all
Yeah,
remember the last time y'all got in a fight?
I was like 21, 22. Not gonna lie to you. I remember clear as day. I remember we got into like 4 or 5 fights that night. That was the crazy part.
You a wild. I
That
ain't
was the
gonna.
crazy part.
Yeah,
Like that was the wild part.
That's the crazy thing, man. I've only shadow boxed myself because I don't count the younger fights. Like once I got older, it was always like it wasn't really no like situation that put us there. Because when it was about to go there, niggas like, nah, we wild, man. They ain't gonna do nothing. Like it was just a bunch of talking, and then you like slowly taking off your jewelry, like, hold on, it's about to get a
Was
little busy.
I ran with like a lot of hot heads though, or a couple
Okay,
hot heads, I would say. So you know, he be said something to somebody and his homies, and then it just go left from there.
I knew one of them. You know, I was in test school. One of them probably almost got us into a bunch of situations, plenty of nights, and then I was just like had to be peacemaker. You know, but hey, I'm glad that young
man,
man
he
doing
full
better.
of shit. He full of shit. The last
Oh,
time I got
oh,
into a
oh, not you.
fight, the last time I got into a fight, I was I think either 25 or 26. It was when I was living in Germany. I ended up getting into a fight with somebody at the
Yeah,
gym.
that'll do it. Oh,
Yeah,
the gym is
I don't
crazy.
think
At
I
the gym is
remember that.
crazy.
yeah,
That is a crazy
yeah.
place.
We was playing. We was playing for some money, and
Okay,
dude couldn't take his L in peace, even though it was a
that money.
clear win. Like we was going to 12. I had I had 11 to his like 2, and he just started like trying to call every foul, like anything he could come up with. He was calling, and then that turned into he still ended up missing the shot because I think he ended up scoring like a couple more points, and then so then it's like 11 to like 4, and then I ended up getting the ball, shot the ball, and then he tried to foul me on purpose, but the ball still wasn't in the rim. And he was like, "No, no, we gotta run that back, run that point back, because I gave you that." If I said the ball went into the rim, Derek, stop with
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Hey, you
that.
give me $20, don't expect me to pay you back if I ain't asked for it, brother.
Yeah, man. And then he was like, "Well, we gonna run that 1 point back, or you ain't gonna get your money." I was like, "Nah, that's not what we gonna do. You gonna go get my money, and we can be done with this." And then he was like, "I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing." So, and I was tired too. So when it got me a little sip of water, and I was like, "All right, so I just need you to tell me one more time you're not gonna go give me my money." He was like, "I ain't going to get nothing." You
Did
know,
he
we
go
got the
get your buddy?
tussling.
Hey,
Nah, we ain't. He ain't. Yeah, I ended up letting it go because it got worse. Cause like, so I hit him. Then we got the tussling and ended up on the floor. And we got tussling, ended up on the floor. And then somebody pulled us apart. And then it was like we was on base too. So they was like, y'all got to get out of here. So we ended up leaving before security forces came. And then he was
Oh, they were.
calling like some people that I knew, like basically trying to meet up because he was trying to say I sucker punched him. And I was like, all right. And I gave him my address. And so we fought in my backyard. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Like he was, it was a convincing like little beat down or whatever in front of some people. And I was like, yeah, I was like, all right, bet you. I was like, that's my little honey right there. Then I was like, but just know, like your word no ain't good no more. And he the as much stuff people talk to him after that, like it wasn't even worth. Because I knew I wouldn't. I knew if you making that big of a deal over 1 point, knowing you lost, like bro, you clearly didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a dumb situation. So,
It's
but
funny
yep.
with you. I will say you turned to a different part with that
okay, you
chicken
for
on the
real, bro.
line. Did you say?
Oh no, you good, you good, you good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
about to say. Once that chicken on the line, you different. Hey, that boy
nah,
turned
man.
to
Nah, he was
Hey,
purposely saying he wasn't gonna pay me. Like
yeah.
he was like,
Hey,
and it was in front of people. Like it was just one thing. I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like we can't just walk away with that one. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, like that just not. I'm not even putting myself in that position no more.
yeah.
Like that was just not worth my time at all. I think I was like, I had just made staff and all that. It was just not a bad. Like it wasn't a smart situation or whatever. Cause like
Yeah.
imagine losing your rank or something because you got into a fight over $100.
Because I'm about to say, security forces was coming with the max. They've trained for this
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. They was
they ain't
coming.
had no action in 2 years either. Like
What?
they ready.
And
It's
then
a
dude had braces. So when I
oh
hit him,
oh yeah, that's
like
they busted all that.
all this was shredded. Like my knuckles was bloody from scratching him on his braces, but like his whole mouth was like bloody or whatever from that. So it wouldn't have looked good. It would have looked very very bad. So you know what I'm saying. It just was dumb in general. Like for me to like do that. So yeah,
Hey, that's crazy. That's
but
crazy.
yeah. So I couldn't imagine 31. Well, I'm sorry, 33, almost 34-year-old me fighting that. Nah,
That young man.
been ugly.
They put them balls on you.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm about to say, yeah. Hey, y'all little fighting persons. I'm about to say, I got that video to work. Y'all want to watch that, John?
Oh, I
Let's
bet,
do it.
Unless y'all got some more devotion of y'all, how y'all used to be criminals. That's all I took from that.
brother. I get
That
that.
was a bad situation.
Let's see. Get this, John. Share audio. Boom. All right.
Towards elementary school, we're an early deposit of the idea.
Let's start this. Yeah. So,
Towards elementary school, we're an early deposit of the idea that taking time off.
My father, who is over 50 years old, I don't actually know how old this man is, but to this day he brags about how he had perfect attendance in elementary school, middle school, and in high school. And me, as his millennial child, I'm sitting there listening to him like, sir, you also don't ever use your PTO. Now, here's how I'm changing the narrative. I have a 9-year-old, and throughout this year, throughout the pandemic, she would wake up and there were moments when she just didn't feel like going to school. Now, I would assess how she felt mentally in the day before, and I would say, you know what? Let's have a mental health day. Now, here's the thing. Me growing up, if I ever came home from school sick, I better not even think about watching TV. Because if I can watch TV, I can go to school. If somebody made me laugh, and I better hold it in. I better not even Nope. Because if you smile, you well enough to go to school. So here's how I'm changing the narrative. When my daughter is home and having a mental health day, I let her watch TV. I let her read books. I let her smile. I take her to get her favorite meal. You know why? Because we need to encourage mental health days. We need to encourage people to not be a 9-to-5 minion. Fuck perfect attendance.
Perfect attendance awards in elementary school, we're an early
okay.
deposit.
What? Okay.
Okay, so I sent that to y'all because I wanted to ask y'all like opinion on that type of like those thoughts and ideas. First of all, do y'all think that's a smart thing to do? And then I got other questions like going down. Y'all, do y'all agree with what she's doing, or y'all think she overdoing it?
No, I agree to the point where I'll say even like perfect attendance, like I already said, like I feel like if the schools was literally teaching my kids what they need to be prepared, and that I'm like, yo, you gonna miss valuable information if you miss this one day, then no. But I do agree with it's okay, because that used to be my pet peeve where it's like you had to be sick the whole day. It couldn't be like a little stomach bug, like you literally had to be sick just in your room, forcing yourself to be sleep. And it's like, I wish I could watch TV right now. So I'm not mad at it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not going to that extent. You can stay at home, we can chill, but hey, by the time you get all your favorite meal and everything, you ain't got no job still. Hey, sit here, chill, go play a game or something. You're not going crazy though.
Yeah, but I think that was more in line of like not really sickness, but like if you think your child is going through like some type of mental health. No, no, I ain't gonna say crisis, but like
Hmm.
if they just having one of them days where you're like, all right, you know what, maybe we won't go to school today. Maybe we, you know, what I'm saying, get through. So
I'm
you
all
feel
for
like
it.
nah,
No, I'm
okay,
all for it. Because brother, I don't want to go to work. So I'm not about to force it. I'm not about to.
yeah,
It's
I
times
take
when you just like, bro, when stuff can be overwhelming. I get like at kids, like as adults, we're able to process, be like, okay, I'm not gonna give energy to this, I'm not gonna give, but I can't expect like my son to understand, like, hey, his like for instance, my son, his biggest thing is friends at school. Like he wants to be liked. Me trying to teach him like to be comfortable is okay. Like if you got one good friend, it's better than 10 friends. Is gonna be wishy washy, but still, I can't expect that to compute because he says he understands, but then he'll come home like, "How was your day?" If somebody said like, "Hey, ain't your friend today because you ain't had this Pokemon card," brother is heartbroken, and it's like trying to, and I can understand like, and he that's what he puts his value on in school. Like he wants to be liked. He wants everyone to like him. So it's times where it can be overwhelming. I'm like, cool, yeah, nah, let's chill. And but instead of just taking that time to let him do whatever he want, like he can still do that, but we more focused on like how to handle situations and stuff like that. So yeah.
what about you, Sean?
Hey, brother. Hey, if I wasn't on my kids homeschool, so like it's kind of different in that aspect or whatever. But even if they was at school or whatever, like brother, hey, because it's some days I wake up, I'll be like, I'm just not going to work. Like if it text my supervisor, hey, I'm sick. I'm not coming in today. Like just because, like she said in the video, like I just need a mental health day. Like and so it would be hypocritical of me to be like, no, you need to go to school every day. And I mean, in high school, my mom would tell you, man, my principal stopped me in high school and he walked up to me, he said, hey, if you don't turn this missing schoolwork in, you gonna fail. It's like the last 3 or 4 weeks of my senior year. Cause I was just skipping so much. Like I was just like, I don't want to. So I think that as long as there's like a responsible balance between it, then I don't see no issue with it. Like you can't be saying every week you need a mental health day. Like no, it don't work like that. Like life don't work like that or nothing else.
No,
Like,
no, fact.
but on occasion or whatever, you just had a rough week or something like that. You want to stay at home on a Friday or something, Thursday, whatever. Like, all right, cool. Like, but like you said, also making it a educational moment or a, a a bonding moment or whatever, as opposed to just all right, everybody, you go to your room, you sit in your room all day and play video games or watch TV, and there's no getting to the basics of everything as far as like we sitting down, we chopping it up, we talking, or we go to the park, or we whatever events that we may do or whatever. But I think as long as there's a beneficial aspect to it, I think there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm surprised. I thought one of y'all was gonna at least say no, but no, I agree. I mean, I don't know about like as far like the extent that she was saying like, oh, we're gonna go do this and all that. But I mean, I guess it just depends on like the age, and all of that because I don't like my son only 5, so he's not getting a mental health day for like you going to school, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's just like he just, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's just there is clearly something going on
Yeah.
personal, like yeah. But like when they get to that age, I mean, third, fourth, fifth grade. You know what I'm saying? Those are like pivotal times and stuff. And then especially once they become teenagers in high school, those are important times. So you definitely want to make sure that that they feel some type of safe space among you, like you and in the home. So like, yeah, we can definitely go do all those things. I mean, honestly, but no, now I think about it, honestly, I don't really even have a problem. Like, hey, let's go get your favorite meal and like let's talk through. Because like what you said, I
Yeah, I'm
don't
about to
want you
say
to
those
just go
talk.
sit in your room and like now that's it. And it's like,
Right.
nah, then that becomes like your only safe space is your room. Like I would hope that our like our whole
House.
family is a yeah, our
Yeah.
house is a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal would be to be fostering in like when you are having them like mental health issues in the future that not only are you saying like, oh, I just need a day off, but you can actually come tell me what the reason is, like what's going on with you. So
And that's what
um
oh, not to cut you off, my bad, DJ.
no, you good.
But I was gonna say, I feel like that to touch on what you just said and there at the end or whatever. I feel like that's a big part of like that, that communication, that emotional intelligence. Because it's like, how you gonna, expect them to talk to you if I came to you and I told you, hey, like I'm having a rough time, like I just need a day for myself,
No,
and then
facts.
you tell me, oh no, you need to go to school, or oh well, you laughed last night when we was at the dinner table. I remember you ain't say you going to school today.
Oh my
Like
god.
it has nothing to do with like that moment or whatever. But I'm coming to you and I'm being vulnerable in the aspect of telling you that like I just need a moment. Like I need a day to like take a break, unwind, decompress or whatever. And you're denying me of that.
And I was about to
Nah,
say,
one
I
hundred
think you
percent.
guys just said something like crazy. I ain't even think like to even touch on like how y'all both just said like how you want the house to be a safe space. I was like, I ain't gonna lie, like growing up, it was
This
definitely
is
my
my room.
room. And I was about to say it was my room. Like I knew like coming out, like I had to portray this to make sure everything was good and I was okay. Like I couldn't just let it all on the table. Like if I felt like crying, just crying. It was crazy. My room was literally my only safe space. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everybody room should be a safe space, but it shouldn't be the only. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of times the reason why it becomes that because like nowhere else is that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
and like I 100% agree that like I definitely take mental health. I take them
Yes.
more often these days than anything. Like, and I'm talking about like for real, just myself. Like I put a 1 day of leave on the board quick on a Wednesday, and I'll be up at the mall grabbing some food, grabbing some clothes. I might go to the movies by myself to watch something. I might do anything. Like even if I'm like I don't feel like going to work. I mean, I don't feel like going to work for one, and I want to go work out, but I don't want to have to do it at the end of the day. So, like my day, I might take a day off of work just so I have time to take my dog on a walk, go work out, shower, do all that stuff, and still be able at the end of the day when everybody home. Like now, I can still be
Be
a parent.
present and
You know what I'm
everything.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I do it all the time. So like, why would not? Why wouldn't your kids? Why wouldn't you want to afford your kids that opportunity? So I
No
mean,
fact.
granted, it ain't gonna be every day. It ain't gonna be like all the time, but no, you should definitely be able to have that opportunity. You know,
And I do that, but I also like to like if I feel like I've been, I wouldn't say neglecting the family, but like if I feel like I haven't been as like present as I'd like to, maybe we got caught up in the week or something like that. I'll take a day to sit on the couch with everybody and watch TV. We cook dinner together or something, or we, go to, like I said, the park or the movies, whatever the case may be. Take that time to like let you know that I'm here for you as well. Like I'm giving you some time now. Like I'm letting you know that I'm here for you type shit.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's needed. I have to get better at that because like I'll say, like I'm quick to say like I'll take a mental health day, but realistically, end up somewhat still working in some type of capacity, whether it's teleworking, emails,
you
because I was about to say I just have to get better because like the fact that now like I have so much use to lose and I still can't take it is kind of crazy, but it's hit or miss.
yeah. Only time I ever have anywhere near any user lose is like I might have 2 days here, 5 days there. And it'd be like, you don't even when they let me know, they be like, yeah, you about to lose this leave if you don't use it by this time. I'm like, oh no, it's all good. I already got 5 days scheduled next week. So like you ain't even got a trip. They gonna be gone way before that deadline hit. Like, you ain't even got a trip. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still hover around like 30, 40 days of vacation time. But like anything past that, nah, ain't no way. And I'm
Yeah.
not doing no work on my, if I do some work, if I do
Uh,
any type of work, y'all, if I put in a day of vacation and then y'all got me typing up anything, guess what?
I'm gonna
I'm
need that
when I
back.
Getting
go
my
back
day
to
back.
work, I'm canceling that leave and I'm gonna put it back on for another day. Hey, y'all gonna pay for what you did to me. Unless it was like a comp day. A comp day is something
Yeah.
different. I don't care about that. But
Yeah.
like my like earned pay leave, no, 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 no. You gonna pay
Need
for
that.
that?
Need
He's
that.
hey, pay
Need
for my
every
little
bit of
bit.
that.
Nah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a great topic though.
Yeah, for sure.
That was super dope. Super dope.
Okay. So I guess the one question we can get into is this one is it's slightly diving into like the podcast the stereotypical podcast conversations, but I don't know. Forget it. We
Hey,
gonna still
go
gonna
for
talk
it,
about it.
brother.
Do
Go
y'all
for
think that it's smart for an established, well-off person to date a person that's not so established or well-off based on the person's potential or what they can be in the future? Do y'all think that's a smart thing to do for men and women?
it. I think
Starting
that's
with you, Shawn.
Brother.
and we're canceled. No.
Hey man, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. But I don't know. I feel like if that person is good for you, even if you feel like you could see the potential in them, if that person's good for you, then I think yeah. I think we gotta stop putting so much like stock in oh how much do you get in your annually or how much money you bring into the table or what cars you got, what how big is your house, this, that, and the third, because I mean, the reality is like a lot of people, majority of the people ain't gonna have that big house or that brand new Benz outside. We know some people, they got that brand new Benz and stuff like that. I ain't gonna say no names, man, but they got these things. You know
Man,
what I'm
get
saying?
off of that.
I think I know who you talking about, but I ain't gonna say that. Type shit.
But nah, I think we can't like value or evaluate a person's worth based off of that. Because I mean, if that was the case, then me and my wife would have never got married. Because when she met me, I was getting kicked out of the military. I ain't had no job lined up. I ain't have nothing. And then when I did get kicked out the military, for the longest, I was sitting on the couch and smoking weed all day. That was it. That was my life. That was it. Because I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know nothing else or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But even to this day, she'll tell me like, I don't know what it was, but I saw something in you. And she stuck with me and like, I mean, hey, you can
Now
see
look
how
at
like
you.
it's turned around,
Truck
right?
driver, real estate agent.
Literally got a new
Um, yeah. He for real. You would think that Sean is an immigrant. He got his hand
Hey,
everywhere.
brother,
Get
He
it,
hey,
got
get job.
he
I
got
got
30
6 jobs.
occupations.
you gotta have
And
them
and,
trades,
and
them
not to
skills.
mention, don't you drive a BMW?
Hey, bro, you gotta
Huh?
chill. Hey, you gotta
Huh?
chill. Hey,
1 plus
you
1
got
is
to
2,
chill.
man.
Yeah,
You got to
1
chill.
plus 1 is
yeah,
2.
You got to
cause
chill.
yeah, I felt that straight that was coming my way, man. Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
I'm
what
not
what
gonna
you
lie
think,
though.
Josh?
I feel Shawn said it amazingly. I think, of course, I think there are stipulations, like with everything, right? If that person has been with you before you got money, of course. If it's after, I do think men or women should still protect themselves in a sense. Just know, like, if I base our relationships on always buying you thing and just constantly being a breadwinner, I can't expect that to change and expect the other person to do something. It's like, oh, like, hold on, what happened? Why this change? And then a lot of times we put it on the other person and you change when really it's me now realizing I don't want to do this anymore. So I think like you should never base your relationship off of that anyways. It's all about getting gifts, but also knowing your person's language. I mean, love language. They could not want that. So I believe in taking that gamble on people. But at the same time, you also have to know when that gamble's not gonna pay off. Just like with gambling, you got to know when that bet not about to hit. Don't parlay it. Don't add another leg to it. It's over. It's okay. Do you take your loss and you keep it pushing?
Okay, but that's the thing though. Like, well, I like that. I do like the answer, but I think I oftentimes hear people, when they do decide to break it off, they're breaking it off because a person didn't like meet the potential
Yeah.
that they set for a person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Not
yeah, but no, you can't.
necessarily.
Oh hell
Yeah,
no, you about to say
because if you see a potential in somebody, if that person didn't tell you that that's what they wanted to be,
well, that's
like
that.
that's
But
That's that.
unfair for you to then be like, oh, I've outgrown you. It's like, no, and if
Yeah.
you're saying now that you've outgrown them, technically you were already bigger than them, and I mean,
No, no,
but
fuck.
now they just whatever, and realistically they were serving some purpose for you at some point, but now like your purpose that you want is not there. You know what I'm saying? So
No, no.
like it's like that's an unfair expectation, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, my bad to cut you
No,
off.
no.
Did you
I'm
have any
about to
more?
say that's a big, like you said. I mean, the biggest thing is I tell people, which is a lost art for some reason, is just communicate. Actually, be honest with people and tell them, like, if I'm not gonna put my expectations on you, I'm gonna say, hey, this is what I would like to see for you. But is that something you even want to? For instance, like people, I always try to tell people don't chase money. Like people think like I got in like IT for money. Like, no, bro, I love computers, I love tech. That's why. And then like people were trying to tell my wife was like, hey, you should go IT. But she's like, I don't like that. And I'm not gonna put my expectations like, yo, we can be making crazy money if you just do it. And
We can
then
run it
you
up.
hey, and you
that's
miserable as hell. It's just you
and,
miserable as hell. Don't love your job. We still in the same boat, man.
and
So
can I
I'm
say
all
something
about.
to touch on that
Go ahead.
too? Hey, definitely don't do that. I tried to do that IT route thing. I got a free class or free schooling or whatever for the IT thing, thinking, oh, when I get out, I'm gonna get 60,000 a year. Trust and believe.
Yeah, and not to mention
Not
like
like
in the tech, what I'm saying, industry, although it's
Up and
good,
down.
it's up and down, especially these days. Like it's very like I mean, it's a lot of these companies that's laying off 5, 10,000, employees that are in that industry. So,
that.
definitely don't commit fully to that if you have no interest in it because
That.
it might not pay your bills and you also don't even like doing it. So you probably won't ever fulfill that financial goal because you'll never get the opportunity to like work in that field. So
No,
yeah.
that's right. No, but that's all I have. What you
Yeah.
got on BJ?
I mine is slightly like not in the opposite direction, but I do think like I think there are always outliers. Like there are situations where you see potential in a person, and they become that or more. But kind of going back to what I said, you got to be careful putting those expectations or like seeing potential in somebody without having that conversation. Like, hey, what do you want to be? Because if a person is just super smart and I'm like, man, you could be a doctor, and then that person never becomes a doctor, and then it's like, well, this person, I had so much, I thought you could be so much
Uh,
more. It's like that ain't fair. But at the same time, like if you're well off, you just got to be careful of your expectations in general of a person. Like if you're well off and you're wanting more out of like your situation and you want your partner to help build that, then it's a little unfair to then look at somebody who's not well off, who's not even like fulfilling that role, by themselves, because now you putting too much pressure and you just putting an unfair like what I'm saying, job on them. So kind of go back to what you said when you said have conversations, find out what a person really wants, not like what sounds good. So but
what you do. Like you have those conversations and say, how can I help you achieve your goal and not what I want for you to do? Like that's
right.
crazy.
Yeah. And so you just got I just feel like that's just one thing. Like men and women have to stop doing that. Like, oh, like if that's what you want out of a person, then you need to go find somebody who already got that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And find out if y'all ideologies align. Or somebody that's working towards that. Like, cause there's one thing to see potential in a person and they ain't doing a whole lot. and then it's another thing to see a potential in somebody that's already kind of like got
Right there.
motion. Yeah,
Right.
like you know what I'm saying. Like if I just like it ain't you seeing my potential. It's just like it's obvious. It's there. You know what I'm saying. If I'm already like in med school and I'm like, yeah, he gonna be a doctor one day. We're like, well, yeah, no shit, he's in med school. You know what I'm saying. But that's different from a person who just happened to like somebody sneeze and like you can kind of, oh yeah, he might
See
have the flu.
something
Yeah, you
else.
should go. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, that ain't fair. So
So I get
yeah, you just gotta be. It's a be careful, I guess, and realistically speaking, like that doesn't usually happen. Like it, realistically speaking, people that's usually not doing a whole lot. Now, granted, young people is something completely different, but like a lot of times I hear these people talking, and you talking about people that's in their late 20s, and you see a potential in somebody. A lot of times, a person that ain't making no type of motion already at that age, a lot of times they probably won't, you know what I'm saying? Or at least they won't, they ain't gonna be no $100,000 making person or 80, 90, 120. They probably not gonna be that if they already in their late 20s and they're not making any type of like moves, because a lot of people don't ever make it to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, granted, most of us see our most men peak financially in their 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I want to say, like, yeah, it says statistics say most men don't make $100,000 until they're 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? But that then even with that, like you can probably those people you could probably see when they was in their 20s, like they was already making all these different moves to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
but you did have sunshine.
yeah, I got something to follow up on that. I got two things actually. So my first thing is more of a opinion or a thought or whatever. And that's just to say that like, okay, if you get in a situation like that and you expecting someone to have all this potential and everything, but you buying them, the new vehicle that drops or whatever, you putting them in Gucci and Dior and all this stuff, whatever, and giving them all this materialistic stuff. Um, if they decide that hey, life is good just like this, like I don't need to like make no moves, you can't blame that person and say that, oh, this person used me, or I saw so much potential in them, but you coddled them like just like a child, like you tended to their every need and every want and desire and stuff, but you didn't like do anything to benefit them in the sense of like helping them grow within themselves. So that was like my first thought. But my second is more of a question to kind of get you guys' perspective on it. But if something, let's say that it doesn't work out, like somebody is in a higher position or whatever, they're already established and well off and everything, and they get with somebody that they saw so much potential in, but that person doesn't reach that potential. In a sense, are you even with that person for that person, or are you with them because you saw something in them, like, or you saw like them reaching another level within life because
Nah,
they
I think
didn't
that's
reach it?
a good. I think that's actually a good thing, a good question. And like I said, this is really kind of going to be very. This is not the. I feel like I see a lot of women do that with a lot of men. Like you like the potential of what that person, because that would eventually in the future afford you this luxury lifestyle. And I'm not saying that they're gonna be like rich, but like they gonna eventually feel in that mode of like, oh, he's going to become this person and he's going to now put me up, and it's like, then really you're with them because that's what you are wanting, not necessarily that person. And maybe potentially that is potentially you really like that person too. But I feel like I see that often with when it comes to like a lot of people who date based on potential, like, or what they say is potential. It's like, no, you really just being an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? It's
Facts.
not.
Ooh,
It's
hold
not being.
on.
Yeah, it's not.
What?
You dated that person because you was waiting on the opportunity for that person to reciprocate this energy, or whatever you was providing them, and you wanted something in return. It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? That mean that you're not that. It come back to like, even when you hear guys say like, "Oh, nice guys finish last." It's the same thing. It's like, no, you thought being a nice person was going to then in turn gift you some ass. You know what I'm saying? But all it got was a thank you, because that's a bare minimum thing. Like that happens a lot of times with me. Men do that with that whole nice guy thing, and I think a lot of times women do that when it comes to like you know, a guy that they see that they might actually really like, or like he might be physically appealing, but he ain't got a lot of motion. But it's like, oh, he's a really nice guy. He could probably potentially get somewhere. And dudes talk a good game, and that's when you end up looking up 10 years from now. He ain't got nothing going on, and you feel like you were used. It's like, nah, you was being an opportunist, and it just didn't work out. The opportunity never presented itself, and now you blaming him. Now, granted, that dude, if he knew that that's what you was on, he should have made it known what he was trying to be and do and all that too. So that don't really absolve men from their spot in it. But I think there's a bit of disingenuous like support from I see sometimes when it comes to like women for men. But yeah.
Hey, y'all trying to take us to the next level. I see. I like it. I like it. I thought
He
it's all
not
right.
see he trying to play that PC role. He don't what's your thoughts? You don't got
Y'all
no,
trying to take us to the next level. Nah, I completely agree. I mean, I've always said this, especially, and I think it's only gotten worse with this new generation, especially with social media. That is what it's promoting. It's literally master classes on, hey, this is what you should think you deserve, although you're not putting in half of this. Find you somebody that's gonna do all this for you. I literally was gonna send the video. So Friday, I was going through work, checking my national Yahoo, scrolling, and I seen an article that made it. It was like stay at home wife like loves it, whatever. But then the whole article then to say is my husband's money is our money and my money is my money. And I was like, and I quickly backed out and was like, how did this make
Can't be
it
talking to me.
yeah, I said, how could this make it on Yahoo and stuff? But it's
Mhm.
so like to me, like that's like just saying it out loud
one-sided
is
and
crazy.
biased.
Yeah, it's so crazy, like to say that, like, and nobody be like, oh, I thought this was great. This is a great story. Like I feel like if men said like it would have been looked at sideways, and then because of these expectations people falsely put on us, and so I completely agree with everything y'all said. That's why I had nothing. Trust me, I'll try to find holes to poke in there, but hey,
Yeah.
when you're right, baby. Hey, when
Yeah.
you're right.
And like I said, that's not to absolve men from
Yes.
their role in the situation, because I think a lot of men they they know that they may not have it in them. Like I say that all the time. I'm like, man, it's people that do and it's people that don't in this world. Like that's just what it is. You
No.
gonna come across you and it hurt, because sometimes you're gonna some of the people that don't are gonna be family, friends, brothers, sisters.
Oh,
You know
you
what I'm
taking
saying,
us to the next
cousins.
level.
It's gonna be just people that don't. But and you have to be able, as a person that does, you have to be able to like identify a person that don't. You know what I'm
But
saying?
how do you?
Like,
But how do you do
Facts.
that? I'm about to say because I was gonna say that's my biggest thing. Because I was even gonna try to tag along, and it's kind of fitting into it. Was saying like dealing with like family and friends. Like when do you stop giving that advice when you see people like you giving it and they not picking it up, or you see they just chatting, just want to talk. Like when do you not necessarily give up on them, but understand like, hey,
well,
like
I think you got to give advice without expectations too, though. It's the
okay,
same thing as like when you're dealing with people, you also got to give advice without the expectation that you're gonna take all of that and run with it. And you only give that knowing that like only give it when you actually have the energy to give it. Like it's some days where like it's sometimes when I get like I talk to a lot of people a lot of all day every day with like advice and stuff like that, and like some days I don't have it in me for that. So like some days I might have to just talk to them another day. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? So and that keeps you from being like annoyed with them, knowing that they, you know,
okay,
now there are
okay,
some people that just sitting there that's just self-destructing and they calling you while they're self-destructing and they not also not doing nothing to help. That I would always advise people to eventually you have to distance yourself and be honest on why you're distancing yourself, because one, that shit is draining to you personally, and then two, um like you being used essentially. Like that
Yeah.
person is not like, if a person don't want to help themselves, like eventually they just using you to like kind of make themselves feel better. Like, oh, I'm gonna call him because I know I ain't got the drive and all that stuff, but like at least I can call him and he gonna make me feel better about myself. Eventually, that's draining and they using you, so you have to eventually like kind of fall back from people like that. But yeah, but at the same time, if there is the love is still there, you have the time to be there for a person, like you give that advice without expecting, like there should not be an expectation of like I tell you this is how you get to $1 million and then you literally jump up and do my exact steps, because how I got where I am in life is not how you gonna get to where you need to be in life. Like there's just people that help you out and give, it's people that gave me plenty of advice, good advice that I didn't use, like, and I don't think that they mad at me. They probably was look like, bro, I said it on a previous podcast that was on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bro, it was somebody who told me about Bitcoin years ago and was telling me like, man, if you just took $100, $200 and bought some Bitcoin, bro, you gonna be nice. And I look back on that, and if I would have, bro, I would have, and if I would have at its peak, bro, I would have been thousands, like I'm talking about hundreds of thousands. And if I would have just consistently put that money, that extra money that I had into buying it, I could have been retired. So yeah, I mean, but that person, I still talk to those people all the time. They doing well for themselves and all that. They ain't like, shitting on me because I didn't take their advice. It's just you can only give advice. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you can do it for them.
Yeah. No.
Thanks. And that kind of touched on what I was gonna say to like on the main topic or whatever, of just like you also have to be able to realize that somebody, you may see potential in somebody, but if you're not benefiting them, you're draining, like you're just draining, what they have or what they could have, you taking away. And if you taking away, of course I ain't gonna reach my full potential. The reason that I made it to where I am today and still growing is because I had a great ass partner that was next to me, like helping me build it. And when I was at my lowest, she was helping me at my lowest. When she was at her lowest, I'm helping through those moments and those times and stuff like that. But a lot of people get so lost in the fact of like, oh well, he might be rich one day, that they seem to lose the fact that or even a relationship or a marriage is work. That bottom line, like that's what gets lost in translation. They think, oh, he look good, she look good, whatever the case may be. We both look good. We're gonna be good. That's it. We love each other. We like each other. Whatever. That's it. And that's not the case. Like you have to work like on yourself, on your relationship, and
Yeah.
continue to like build on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also come down to that, like realizing that you ain't gonna always like each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like, just because you in a season where y'all beef, because this person may not be where you want them to be, like for themselves, like that don't necessarily mean then you go throw the relationship or marriage out the window and then be like blaming them for why it didn't work out. It's like, nah, you couldn't even like deal with them in a bad season, even though you had a vow that said for better or for worse. You know what I'm saying? So like be careful on hopping on the internet and like talking about, because you had a failed marriage and you had your life your life together. Be careful of how you hop on the internet and then try to like then shit on that person, because you know what I mean, like remember you're the one who decided like, yeah, even though I said for better or for worse, I couldn't deal with this person during their bad season. And not everybody, like I'm not saying you have to stay there, but you know what I'm saying, at the same time, be careful with just hopping on the internet and being so holier than thou, because I'm sure it was a season where that person was
Put up with you
annoyed and tired, and yeah, they put up with you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
and stop listening to people that ain't in no same situation as you too.
yeah. Stop
You ain't
listening
in a
to
relationship. Don't talk to me
stop
about a relationship.
and stop taking memes and clips from podcasts and using them to justify your stupidity. I seen a post I made. I put that on here. Stop using stuff that you seen on the internet to justify your stupidity. That was one of the realest memes I seen. Like I see it all the time. People who are clearly problematic people, but then they see a post on Justin LeBoy or LA Boy, whatever his name is, and it's something about like, oh, I am who I am, and the people that really like me and there for me, they understand that. It's like, nah, but you still a bitch in real life. Like that's what you are, or you're still annoying. You're still an annoying person. There are people that love you for who you
Yeah.
are, but that don't make you no less of an annoyance to everybody.
Man, there's a speaking of listening to stuff that you see on social media, it's a lady on TikTok right now, and people definitely listening to her because she got likes and comments. She going up. She doing numbers to say the least. And I seen a clip of her talking about like how you supposed to like keep a man or get a high value man, whatever. And one of the comments or that somebody had said was, um what should I do if this high value man is like beating on me? And her response was go take you some self defense classes, put it on him worse, and then he won't hit you no more. And this is who y'all get advice from. So like
Right.
I just
Somebody that just
this is
told you
what
to complete a whole domestic, complete the whole, just complete the
She watched
cycle of
that Jennifer
domestic
Lopez.
violence.
She watched that Jennifer Lopez movie, did she? That's what she did instead of no.
bro.
It worked for her. It'll work for you.
Some
That was a
stuff that she
movie
ain't never been in.
at
Some stuff
all.
she ain't never been in. She gonna advise you to do that. Like, man, come on. Like that be the
That
people that's on there. It's not enough. It's not enough people giving good advice
hey,
on the
that's
internet. So
that
yeah.
is a
I think
thousand percent.
it I think it's
And
enough
everybody's a
good
life
people on
coach.
there. Yeah, heavy on
Everybody
that.
got that. Everybody got that cert. Hey,
But
I see y'all. I see y'all.
I think it's a good amount of people like that are giving good responsible advice. I think the thing is like people don't want to hear that. If your homeboy going through something and he beefing with his old lady, you have that everybody got that homeboy that you know is not gonna come talk to you because you gonna tell him that he was wrong in the situation. He gonna go find the one that's gonna tell him he right.
Yeah.
That's what people want.
Yeah, and
Majority,
if anybody
majority.
know me, I am not that person.
Oh, no, that's true.
Not
You
call me
definitely
for
do
that.
not
Yeah,
call him. He'll
yeah.
get you in the worst mood. You call. It was oh
I
yeah.
can't believe her. Well, I can't believe you.
Yeah. Hey, but everybody needs that though. I was about to say, don't surround yourself by yes, man. You don't take nothing. Take that, man. Trust me. In the long run, them yes, man, go work till it don't.
hmm Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. Well, I don't know if y'all want to get into another, or we can kind of end it out here. Yeah,
Uh,
like
we had 53. Y'all about to say we can end here. That's fine.
Yeah, we can hear.
yeah,
So then I can
okay,
edit and
well,
then yeah.
for sure. Well, it's been a episode 1 of season 2 of the New Hood podcast. Um, if you like it, share, subscribe, comment, all that, and then
Give
if
us
you
some
want to get
topics.
in,
You
yeah,
feel like we was wrong? Let us know.
But-
I'd be love to hear it.
yep, come talk to us.
And then
Yep.
last thing I'm about to say, if you see the rebrand, the person who did this for, her link is in the description. Definitely hit her up for all graphic design things. So shout out,
Yes,
Ma.
yes.
Appreciate you. Boom.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
All right, bet. Next week.